Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. This man's name is Mark Robinson, and he is pissing black people off, going and coming all over this country. He is the Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina, a Trump supporter, and he's the Republican nominee for the governor of North Carolina. And he has been endorsed by Donald Trump. Now, that's a red flag right there. That's very troubling that a black person is endorsed by Donald Trump, because what you get is what you get with Trump. He doesn't endorse white people that have any, he doesn't endorse white people who seem to have a mind of their own and who's thinking for the country. So he's not going to endorse a black person who has any self-awareness as a black man. Now, to back up what I just said, Jeff Sessions, who was a senator from Alabama, was chosen by Donald Trump to be his attorney general during his administration. Jeff Sessions is a conservative. I would even call him a right-wing conservative. He was one of the first established Republicans to support Donald Trump in 2016 when he announced that he was running for president. So, because Jeff Sessions gave some credibility to Donald Trump, other Republicans came on board. Donald Trump selected Jeff Sessions to be his attorney general. And he did a lot of damage, as far as I'm concerned, as attorney general. But he and Donald Trump had a falling out eventually. Donald Trump got mad at Jeff Sessions because he recused himself and would not oversee the investigation of Russia's meddling into the 2016 election. I'm not sure what the violation was at the time, but Jeff Sessions absolutely refused to get involved in that Russian investigation. And Trump got so mad and went on social media and talked about him so bad, like he can do, that Jeff Sessions was pressured into resigning. Now, as far as conservative Republican politics were concerned, Jeff Sessions was highly respected, had a stellar career, no blemishes on his record until he got tied up with Donald Trump. So after he resigned as Attorney General, he came back to Alabama and tried to run for the Senate again. Donald Trump put such bad mouth on Jeff Sessions, and all of those Republicans in Alabama turned on him. And you see who's up there now as senators from Alabama. Tommy Tuberville, who has an IQ of about 55, and this woman, this Katie Britt, who responded to the State of the Union last night and has made herself the laughingstock of the country. Donald Trump ruined Jeff Sessions' career because he would not get involved in something that he knew would eventually land him in trouble with the Justice Department. So this is what Mark Robinson is signing on to. He's partnering up with Donald Trump, and who knows how that would end. This guy has really offended black people. He has said some very derogatory things about black people, including the fact that black people should be paying America reparations. That's a sign of a black person who does not connect with the black experience or other black people. So I was very curious about his background. How do you get there? How do you get to a point as a black American man that you're going to say that black people should be paying America reparations? How do you get that far away from the center? So I decided to go and do a little research and look him up. I went to my first source, Wikipedia, and this is information that he gave. And if it's wrong, anybody who knows that it's wrong, please correct me. But this is what they say. Mark Robinson was born in Greensboro, North Carolina, as the ninth of 10 children. Robinson has said that his father was abusive and alcoholic, and that he and his family suffered from domestic violence. Robinson and his siblings lived in foster care for part of their childhood before moving back in with their mother, who worked as a custodian. After graduating from Grimsley High School, he served in the Army Reserve, later attending North Carolina A&T State University and working at several furniture factories in the Triad region. While working in furniture manufacturing, he took history classes at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro with the goal of securing a degree and becoming a history teacher. So that's quite a bit to unpack. First of all, he's part of a very large, poor family. His father was abusive. He suffered from domestic abuse, and he was put in foster care. So those three things right there are very challenging to a family. Being in a big family, I was brought up in a large family, so I know that the challenges are great. So if you're in a large family, your dad has got to be working and bringing home money every week to feed the family. And then if he is abusive, it says his family suffered from domestic violence. Now, the only way anybody would know that is that he would have to tell it. So nobody's made this lie up on him. But children who suffer from a domestic violence are altered in the way that they should be as young people. A child seeing his mother abused, seeing his siblings abused, and himself being abused, that alters people. I am not making excuses for this man because he is accountable for what he says. But it is possible that this man's personality was altered in childhood. It is possible that that's when he lost respect for black people, because listen to who his role model was. Robinson attributed the beginning of his interest in American conservative politics to his reading of a book by Rush Limbaugh, after which he found out that I was conservative and always had been. So you see, his role model was who many black people thought was one of the worst white men in America. On April 3rd, 2018, Robinson attended a meeting of the Greensboro City Council where they debated whether or not to cancel a gun show in the wake of the Stoneman Douglas High School shooting. Robinson spoke in favor of gun rights, and video of his speech went viral. After it was shared on Facebook by Mark Walker, Robinson dropped out of the University of North Carolina and left his job in furniture manufacturing to focus on public speaking engagements. He was invited to speak at the National Rifle Association of America's annual convention that year. So see, he was in school to be a history teacher, but he hooked on to that right wing. They scout for black people like that. Black people who, I'm going to say, who have been damaged. And they turn their anger on other black people. It's a lot like these black men on social media that hate black women. All black women haven't done anything to them, but they've decided to take their anger and put it out on everybody. So in addition to being angry, he's also broke. Working at a furniture store in North Carolina could not have been that lucrative. So when he saw a chance for a come up, doing something that came naturally to him, probably what he's been doing all his life, which is talking down to black people. He jumped on it. And it paid off because he's now the lieutenant governor of North Carolina. Nobody knows what kind of training, political training he has. And now he's running for governor as the Republican nominee. So that's not a bad payday for somebody who was working at a furniture store. I don't think it's very hard to figure out what happened to this guy. But I still say that the beginning of this man's trauma was in his childhood. And he has not gotten any help. And instead of trying to become governor of North Carolina, he needs to be in therapy to figure out why he feels such disdain for his own community. And this is my opinion, because if he doesn't love black people, he doesn't love anybody else either. And regardless to how much money he's getting paid and how far he goes with this right-wing politics, he's still a black man in America, and the history is what it is. The history doesn't change just because he decided to flip and get on the side of the former enslavers. There's a price you pay for sleeping with the enemy, and you may not pay it sooner, but you'll definitely pay it later. Okay, y'all, let me know what you think about this video. What do you think about this man telling black people that we need to pay reparations to the United States? Thank you for listening. Subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, share the video, and as always, have a great day.